Hi everyone, it's Angela from Cake Angel and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here today. For today's bake along, I'm going to show you how to make these vegan funfetti cupcakes, which are perfect for any celebration or even if you're just looking for an excuse to make something fun. Let's dive in and take a look. To start with, we're creaming 50 grams of vegan butter with 90 grams of sugar, and you'll notice that I'm using a hand mixer and bowl for this as opposed to using a stand mixer that you normally see in my videos, and that's because we're making a small batch of cupcakes. This recipe makes roughly 8 to 9 cupcakes, so I don't feel the need to use a big stand mixer for that. Next, I'm adding 65 grams of applesauce, and then we're going to add our flavorings as well, which is half a teaspoon of almond extract and half a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir them together with a spatula just to make sure that everything is nice and combined. Now we're going to move on to our dry ingredients. So this is 120 grams of cake and pastry flour, 5 grams of baking powder and a gram of salt. And you'll notice that I'm adding it in portions and I'm alternating between adding the flour and some milk. And for this I've decided to use 57 grams of almond milk, but any plant-based milk will work well for this. And you just want to go back and forth adding your wet ingredient and your dry ingredient to make sure that your batter doesn't get too dry. Give that a really good whisk as well, and once that's nicely combined we'll be ready to move on to the next stage. You just want to give your bowl a quick scrape down and double check that you haven't missed anything at the bottom of the bowl. And here's the fun bit. Now we're going to add our sprinkles, and you'll notice that I'm folding them in instead of stirring them in, and that's to cut down on the colour bleed when we're actually adding them to our batter. Okay, that looks great. So now we're going to go ahead and add them to our cupcake cases. You'll notice that I'm using an ice cream scoop for this, and this is my top tip for making sure that all of my cupcakes are the same size rather than having to weigh them all, which can be pretty fiddly. So I'm just going ahead and putting 1 scoop in each of the cases, and then I'm going to scrape down my bowl and make sure we haven't missed any bits. And once that's done, they're ready to go in our oven, which was preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to bake it for roughly 20 to 22 minutes until they're lightly golden. Here's what they look like once they're done. I wish you guys could smell this. They smell so good with all those flavorings that we added. Now I'm going to leave them in the tray to cool down for about 5 minutes, then I'll pop them onto the cooling rack. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and start making our vegan buttercream. And for this, I'm first going to cream 100 grams of my plant-based butter. My butter is at room temperature for this. If it's particularly warm where you are, you can use it straight from the refrigerator. And then I'm going to start adding my icing sugar, and I'm going to do this in stages just like I did for my flour earlier. And in total we're using 227 grams of icing sugar. Once that's fully combined, we've just got a few more things to add. We're adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste and 16 grams of plant-based milk. And if you don't want to use milk, you can absolutely use water for this, as long as you've got that 16 grams of liquid in there, just to give you that right consistency for piping. So now we're going to go ahead and finish our cupcake. I'm using a 1M tip in my piping bag. I'm starting from the outside and just doing that traditional cupcake swirl, which is perfect on a cupcake like this. And for the finishing touches, more sprinkles, because everyone loves sprinkles and they just make you smile. So you can add as many as you like here. Doesn't that look wonderful? I love all the colours when you have a funfetti cupcake. So the last thing I want to show you now is what the cupcake looks like inside. I'm sure you're all dying to see how colourful it is from all those sprinkles that we added. So let's go ahead and cut that and take a look. And there you go, you can see all those nice little pops of colour evenly distributed throughout our cupcake. The perfect vegan funfetti cupcake. Now don't forget to leave me a comment below if you're going to try this recipe, or even let me know what your favourite flavour of cupcake is, and I'll be sure to make one of those in my next bake along. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.